Welcome to the channel. All right, let's talk about something really important today, your money. We're going to break down the 4 biggest and, honestly, the most overlooked mistakes that are probably keeping you stuck. Stick with me, and we'll get you on the path to building the future you actually want.
Okay, look, I know that sounds super dramatic, but here's the thing. After seeing so many people wrestle with their finances, you start to see a pattern, and that pattern has almost nothing to do with how much money you're making.
So here's the real secret. Building wealth, it's not about picking the perfect stock or getting a huge raise. It's actually about learning to sidestep all the hidden traps that are designed to drain your money away. And today, we're going to shine a big, bright light on them.
Okay, mistake number 1. This is by far the most common trap, and let's be honest, we've all been there. It's when we just decide to turn a blind eye to what's really going on with our money.
And for so many of us, the answer is, yeah. You've got credit card bills piling up, maybe a mountain of student debt, and you're just trying to make it to the next paycheck. The whole thing feels so massive, so overwhelming, that it's just easier not to look. But that little bit of comfort now, it costs you big time down the road.
And hey, if this is hitting close to home, you are so not alone. A wild 72% of households don't have any kind of financial plan. Look, this isn't about feeling bad or ashamed. It's about realizing that sticking your head in the sand is, well, it's normal. But if you want to get ahead, you've got to be the one to break that norm.
Let me tell you about this one guy. His life changed the day he finally forced himself to sit down and pull everything, and I mean everything, student loans, car payments, credit cards, bank accounts, into one single spreadsheet. He was absolutely terrified of what he'd find. And the number? It was a gut punch. His net worth was negative $100,000.
But you know what? As awful as that number was, from that day forward, things started to get better. Why? Because for the first time, he had a target. He had an enemy to fight. Facing that ugly truth was his first real step toward freedom. It's the only way you can actually build a plan to get where you want to go.
So once you've ripped off the Band-Aid and faced the numbers, the next trap is just waiting for you. And that brings us to mistake number 2, the absolutely crippling cost of procrastination.
I like to call this the procrastination tax. It's this invisible penalty you pay for waiting around for the perfect time to start investing. We tell ourselves, the few $100 I have now won't make a difference. I'll start when I have real money. That thinking, it is financially devastating.
Let me just show you what I mean. We're going to look at a classic showdown that happens in real life all the time. The early starter versus the late starter.
Okay, check out these numbers. Our early starter puts in just $250 a month starting at age 25. The late starter, they wait 10 years, but they try to make up for it by investing 3 times as much, $750 a month, starting at 35. Now get this, by the time they're both 45, the late starter has actually put in more of their own money. But the early starter's account, it's sitting at over $150,000, while the late starter is only at about $125,000. That 25 grand difference? Boom, that's the procrastination tax.
The lesson here is absolutely massive. Every single year you wait is a year of compounding growth that you can never, ever get back. How much you start with matters way, way less than how much time you give your money to grow.
All right, let's move on to mistake number 3. Now this one, it isn't about growing your money. It's about protecting it. It's all about making sure you have a solid defense when life decides to throw you a curveball. And honestly, most of us are walking a tightrope without a safety net. These stats are just staggering. Nearly 70% of Americans have less than $1,000 in savings, and about a third have absolutely nothing. That means one car repair, one medical bill, and you're immediately going into debt.
And trust me, these things happen. There was a story of a perfectly healthy 25-year-old who had a little stomach ache. Next thing he knows, it's an emergency surgery. The final bill was over $10,000. That's 8 lakh rupees. He figured, I'm young, I'm healthy, I don't need health insurance. Well, that one decision completely wiped out years of his savings and threw him deep into debt.
It's kind of wild when you think about it, right? We pay to insure our cars, we insure our homes, some of us even insure our phones, but we leave our single most valuable asset completely unprotected. So what is it?
It's you. It's your ability to get up every day and earn a living. Things like health and disability insurance, they're not investments you hope to cash in. No way. They are a non-negotiable expense. They're the firewall that stops one bad break from burning your entire financial world to the ground.
All right, so you've built up your defenses, you're ready. But there's one last trap,
And this one is sneaky. It shows up in our daily lives, in our spending habits, and the crazy psychology that drives them.
You know the drill. You see your friends with the new car, the fancy furniture, the latest iPhone, and that little voice in your head starts whispering, it's only $300 a month. But the second you take out a loan for something you can't truly afford, you're not owning an asset anymore. You're just leasing a lifestyle.
So, here's a little mental checklist. Before that next big purchase, just pause and ask yourself these questions. And be honest. If you have to put it on a credit card that you can't pay off in full this month, then the answer to "can I afford this" is a hard no. Are you buying it for you or for how you think other people will see you? These simple questions, they can save you from years of debt.
So, we've walked through the 4 big ones: ignoring the truth, delaying your start, having no defense, and leasing a lifestyle. But what's the one thing, the one thread that ties all of this together? Here it is, the real secret. Personal finance is 80% behavior. It's only 20% knowing the math. You don't need to be a Wall Street genius to win with money. You just need to get good at managing your own habits, your own emotions, and your relationship with money. That's it. That's the whole game. And if I can leave you with just one final thought, please let it be this. Your financial situation right now, it does not define you as a person. It is not a measure of your value. Just recognizing these traps we talked about today, that's the first huge step. After that, it's just about taking small, consistent actions, day after day. That's how you win.
Hey, if you want more educational content like this, please subscribe to the channel.